Welcome to Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics right here on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Inimchuku and I'm your host for the show. Joining me live in the studio, as always, I have with me my co-host, Ifoma Oji. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good, Sharon.
All right. It is Friday, the last day of the week, last working day of the week for us. Now we are going to...
Okay,
so
I think I'm happy
we are
now.
going for Owambe vibes after this. All right. Happy TGIF to all of you watching. Now we're going straight to the headlines for today. First, former Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, is being arraigned today by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on an 8-count fraud charge linked to alleged improper contract awards during his time in office. Second, at the Senate screening of President Tinubu's ambassadorial nominees, most candidates were told to take a bow and go. A Senate tradition that cleared many high-profile figures without questions, even as tensions flared over the process. And finally, in Bayelsa State, the Bayelsa State Deputy Governor, Senator Lawrence Ehujakpo, has died suddenly after collapsing in his office. May his soul rest in peace. Now, these are the headlines we're going to be treating today. But before we even move over to the first story, I would love us to start with what went on in the Senate House yesterday, where we had the ambassadorial candidates being screened. This has raised a lot of reactions on social media, especially with the bow and go that they issued a lot of these ambassadors when they came for their screening. We'll take a look at some of those videos and then we'll return to the studio.
Distinguished senators, my name is Fatima Florence Ajimobi, wife of late Senator Abiola Ajimobi from Oyo State. I appear before...
Finish. We all know you. Finish.
Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues.
Take a look at what also happened when it concerns the ambassadors. Then we can have a full conversation. So let's take a look at those videos.
Distinguished Senator, the distinguished Chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Stanbic, the distinguished Deputy Chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, distinguished members of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, and distinguished senators from my state, Senator Ngige Boko, Senator Joel Onowako, and Senator Ede Dafinami, the Special Advisor to the President of Senate Matters, Senator Bashir Elado, COS. My name is Brennan Murphy. I was a Special Assistant to the President on New Media. I'm an author, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Next.
The distinguished leader of the Senate, distinguished Chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, distinguished members of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, my distinguished Senator, Mr. Abdul Ngige. Yes, sir. The special advisor to the President on Senate matters.
Mr. Chairman, you have allowed me. Please protect me.
Conclude. Your time is going. Conclude.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I think I needed to speak on this in the public interest. With particular reference to the nominee, Reno, because we cannot pretend we have not had stories. For me,
there is no petition before the
for me,
look,
for me, Mr. Chairman, I believe
Let others continue.
Nominee Omokri has shown by...
My name is Mahmoud Yakubu, former Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, and former Chairman INEC.
Next committee, my fellow nominees. My name is Right Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, a three-time member of the House of Representatives, member of the 5th Assembly, 6th Assembly, and the 7th Assembly, and then a two-time governor of Enugu State.
You're more than qualified. Take your bow and go.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Next.
I especially recognize my senators, distinguished Senator Niek Bass.
No long introductions. No long introduction. Just
Senator Ita Enang. I was a member of the State House of Assembly. I served in this National Assembly for 12 years in the House of Representatives.
You're more than qualified. Take your bow and go.
Thank you very much. And I was advisor to the President of the National Assembly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's good that we had those videos out of the way so that we could have a comprehensive discussion on exactly what went down in the Senate yesterday as they screened the latest ambassadors. Now, what you would notice from these videos is the bow and go comments you'll be hearing all through the video when the ambassadors approached. But one particularly interesting incident happened where we saw Senator Ndumi and Oshomole fighting a little in the Senate where they had to interview Reno Mukiri. A lot of people have carried this particular news, but let me just start with that, right? The brouhaha, where some wanted to question, others didn't want to. Let's talk about that for a little before we also, pay attention to the bow and go that they used for screening these ambassadors.
Okay, first off, Sharon, you're welcome.
No,
we missed you yesterday.
Missed you too as well.
And then, as regards to the video we just watched, Senator Ndumi and Adams Oshomole having back and forth in the Senate House, it is quite disheartening that the person I'm going to blame here is the Senate President. That is who I am to blame here, because yes, because he should have that what's it called, decorum to organize the House in a manner that, I mean, you can talk to a certain senator without having to raise your voice and the rest of them. And if you listen to that conversation from the beginning to end, you realize that they were both saying the same thing. You understand? So it doesn't really make sense in the first place for them to be having the back and forth that they were having. So I'm like, the only person I am blaming here is the Senate President, because he would have organized the House in a more proper way. You can air your opinion without having to banter with your fellow senators.
Exactly.
It should be decorum.
There should be decorum, but going back in the past, we've seen a lot of controversial fights happening in the Senate with little to no regard for that House and the way and manner they should conduct themselves. But let's also take a look at another thing that has caused raised a lot of eyebrows. It is the bow and go. We saw the former governor of Enugu State, Ugwuanyi, in one of the videos we just saw now, who came out, introduced himself, and we heard, "Oh, you're more than qualified, you can go." Another person, ambassador as well, came up. I think that's the wife of the late governor for your state. "Oh, you're more than qualified, just take a bow and go." And it seems as though there was little to no interrogation or interview or any of that sort. What do you make of that? And there's one person that came out as well. I wanted to introduce and started saying it. He said, "No, just do introduction and go." Seems like it already been settled before they came before the Senate.
Okay, I would like to bring to the public attention that bow and go is not a constitutional right. It is more like a Senate tradition, and when courtesy overrides scrutiny, the essence of legislative oversight is watered down. We cannot have the people, ambassadors that are supposed to represent us on the global stage. These are ambassadors that are going to negotiate trade. These are ambassadors that are going to negotiate security entirely. The image of Nigerians, protect Nigerian citizens. We can't have them bow and go, and we can't have the Senate House scrutinizing rigorously rigorously ministers, and when it's left for people that will, represent Nigeria on the global stage, you're telling them to bow and go, that they are more qualified. Why? What is more qualified about the former governor of Enugu State? If you were in Enugu State, you will bow your head in shame, because this Senate House, to be honest with you, like I don't really understand why we have, selective justice in Nigeria. Because why is it that during Christopher Musa time, you saw how he was screened for complete 5 good hours? Even one of the senators even said he will be placed on 6 months probation, pending on when he delivers on the promises that he have made.
Wow. But
if he doesn't do that, he will be asked to pack and leave the particular position. But these are people, yes, we understand the fact that, they have been in service for a very long time, but that does not take away the fact that Nigerians want to know what these people want to do for them when they go on the global stage. Nigerians want to know how they are going to be represented on the global stage. This is not right.
It isn't, to be honest, because it just, maybe they're passing a message here without them even knowing that they lack what it takes to decide when someone is competent or not competent at all. And it is something that people should worry about, and especially us as Nigerians, as a civil society, should worry about. They will be the same people that will come out to probe situations or probe money and probe all of that. But I think this is all the genesis. This is where the genesis of issues like this start, when you put people who are not credible in very vital, sensitive positions. And what just went down yesterday is just showing that the Nigerian Senate is not really prepared to talk competence. Now let's also take a look at how critics are viewing the way the Senate handled that particular list, and also comparing the way the Senate has been handling a lot of things that's coming from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We've seen it's just as though anything that comes from the President is rubber stamped. We saw when he applied for the $2.2 million loan from the presidency, and it was approved without even question. We saw the invites from the First Lady from Aso Rock approved. We saw now, right, the ambassadorial list, them just bowing and going and all of that. And I'm just begging the question, do you think that the relationship between the Senate, or the way the Senate has been handling matters from the presidency, do you think is peculiar to this particular administration, and specifically to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Yes, they've made a name for themselves, to be honest. They've made a name that everything that concerns the lawmakers in the Senate House is going to be rubber stamped. Tell me a particular policy, a particular bill that the president brings forth to the Senate House that they will have to scrutinize, rigorously before they give their consent. Tell me, apart from Musa, which we know that Nigerians in total were in consent of him, running that particular office. And that is why we're saying, and because of the fact that US is equally, because I remember that time the Senate president was like, no, we need to screen him. The US is on our neck, you understand? So it's because of the fact that other international body have to throw in their weight. That is when oh, we need to screen these people. But if it has to do with the president and the Senate House, it's all about rubber stamping. Look at how they rubber stamped Reno Omokri. Yes, I give it to him that he is more like politically outspoken. He is present on social media, but that doesn't take away the fact that he is quite controversial. You understand? He has serious dents to his image. I remember during what's it called, Goodluck's administration, he was siding Goodluck. He was even banting and bashing the present administration, that is the president. And now when everything tables have turned, he has started praising this somebody that they were supposed to scrutinize. What are you going there to represent us? What are you going there to tell them about Nigeria? Will you still go there to scrutinize? Will you still go there to bash the present administration? What exactly are you going there to represent? But look at how they told him. Even the senators in the house, you saw Ndume was saying that he has relationship with him for 25 years, so that he is is more than qualified. Same with what is it called, Adams Oshomole. Is this what we are supposed to be doing on the Senate House? This is more like, for Nigerians, this is more like the last hope, because we've lost hope in the president, that he couldn't even bring, after 2 years of waiting for this list, he brought people that have, you know, a lot of baggages, negative baggages, and then we're now expecting the Senate House to do due diligence, and they couldn't even deliver. It's a shame, but I pray for them.
It is a shame to see. Honestly, I think you've said it all honestly, because it seems that what they did yesterday was based on, I know this person personally, but Nigerians have not had a 25 years relationship with Reno Mokiri. We don't know him personally on that level, and although recommendation is great, but this is a very sensitive position, like Ifoma mentioned, and it should be treated as such, because the next time they are going to send them as delegates, maybe to the United States, the United States is not going to ask, oh, how long have you known Senator Oshomole? How long have you known Senator Adams? They are going to ask for merit. They're asking for qualification, and they don't even need to ask. The way you carry yourself, the conversations that you have would speak loud and clear. But we need to look over to the next story, which is what is going on with Chris Ngige. We remember the last time we saw him in the news was when he was in Anambra State and his convoy was attacked and he escaped to Abuja. Now we're seeing that he has a case with the EFCC. They're accusing him for fraud during his time as Minister of Labor and Productivity. They are saying that there are some contracts he awarded which were very fishy, right? And they've called him now to answer to that. But let's talk a little about Chris Ngige and the fraud case against him by the FCC.
Okay, the thing there is that I think we always say that we have a failed system. Everything about Nigeria, everything about its institution, to be honest with you, is in shambles. Because the EFCC here, if I'm to say anything about EFCC, it is quite compromised. Now tell me why this is coming right now. You do remember the time when he was, you know, governor in Anambra State to probe? You have to leave that, and after years,
you know, that governor position is a covering.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm coming to. And then he leaves office, and because of the fact that he refused to join the bandwagon, he refused to defect to APC, which everybody is moving to. You now remembered, oh, he doesn't have covering, so we need to probe into his affairs. It's time to do that. It is quite, you know, sad, but at the same time, if he is being accused of allegedly siphoning funds, or siphoning funds is the word, then I think he should be made to provide the EFCC. If they have their evidence, they should provide it. But as far as I am concerned, he is termed, you know, not guilty until proven guilty. So
all right, and I think personally it's also going to be interesting to see how this matter would unfold in court. And there's something you also said that I think a lot of Nigerians will agree with, the fact that because people that have not moved or defected to the APC do not get as much covering. And when we listen or go back to what Governor Fubara said, he said while he was in the PDP, he didn't get as much covering from the PDP until he moved to the APC. So are we now saying that the APC is a house for fraudulent people, fraudulent politicians and thieves generally? And if it is so, what image do you think it is befitting for the ruling administration that we have?
Sure, and I remember one time, was it months ago, that is it US or rather is it Canada? Between
it's Canada.
US and Canada, yes. They kind of tagged these political parties.
Canada, yes,
they tagged PDP and APC as more like a terrorist organization. So I'm sorry for that, but we could see that just like we always say, PDP is dead and they are even struggling for survival, and we are not seeing that survival or them coming to life anytime soon because of a lot of squabbles that is going on in PDP. But this is to show you that we are moving to that point whereby Nigeria will have to, you know, toe the path of one party system in Nigeria, which is APC. And we are not seeing, like I always say here, we are not seeing any form of strong opposition parties in Nigeria anymore. And to be honest, it's quite scary. It's very, very scary that it is now left for Nigerians to decide what happens. It's no longer about, oh, I am challenging this that you said, you brought up a bill, you brought up this particular policy, I am challenging this, where is it in the constitution? This is what an opposition party is going to stand for. But we are not seeing that anymore. Even Labour Party that we are hoping on, we are hopeless on Labour Party. Now even ADC that we are looking forward to, oh, maybe they are going to rise and, you know, fight against the one party system. ADC, I'm not even hearing anything about ADC. Anymore. Is it AAC that you're going to talk about? There is no strong opposition party anymore. What we have right now is APC, and like I said earlier, it's quite scary because democracy is not anywhere, you know, close to this.
Exactly. When you have just one party, then is it really democracy that we're practicing? We know that for someone like Mr. Peter Obi, who has come out to announce his intention of running for presidency come 2027, and he's neither here nor there. We don't really know if he is. We have no idea, because, and we really can't tell, because when you look at the governor of Osun State, who moved to Accord more than a month ago without people knowing, maybe for Mr. Peter Obi as well, he has made some political moves that he hasn't announced yet. But I'll also let us know that the room or the window for even creating new political parties has been shut, according to INEC. Right now, we are just looking for how we can maximize the parties that are already existing. But talking about the EFCC now and talking about Chris Ngige, Ifoma, do you think that the EFCC as a whole should be reformed, or should it be shut down completely? Because for a while now, they've seemed to lost public trust in their ability to really nab or to nip people who are fraudulent, or politicians, or just individuals who have conducted fraudulent activities.
Okay, I think the EFCC, first of all, that's ego. Is that an ego? The both eyes need to, you know, be removed, because we've seen clearly that there is nothing that they are seeing. They don't see anything. They only see maybe if it is Yahoo boys or people that are not under a certain party, or they are not under a coverage of a certain party. Those are the people that they see. They don't see the big fishes that have been siphoning billions and billions of dollars. Even this present administration, the president have some, you know, comma to his name. But why is it that EFCC have not said anything about that? Why is it that they've not probed anything concerning that? We've seen a lot of senators, even the Senate president, he still have, you know, a lot of questions with EFCC. Why is it that they are yet to bring up that case? Why is it that he's yet to be arraigned in court? Why is it that he's yet to be brought to book? This is to tell you that there is nothing that they are EFCC in. There is nothing they are definitely doing. So I think if I'm to say anything, I think that office should really rather be looked into. If they can't act as an independent body, please, they should shut down.
All right. And then I think going forward, we'll see how that particular move would affect how things are being done and how anti-graft agencies really run their business. But we have to move over to a rather sad story. We just saw in the news that the deputy governor of Bayelsa State just died yesterday, and this happened after he collapsed in his office, but he didn't survive from that collapse, and now he is gone to be with his master. Anyways, our hearts are just going out to the people of Bayelsa State, to his family, to his loved ones and friends, and I pray that his soul would rest in peace. But Ifom as well.
Yeah, I commiserate with the family. Yeah, in as much as you're in a public office, it doesn't still take away the fact that, I mean, the body needs rest. According to what I have seen on social media, people are saying that he works, you know, tirelessly. He doesn't allow the body to, you know, take few minutes or few hours of rest, which is very, very, you know, quite should I say, yeah, it's quite troubling. So I think whatever office that you are involved in, you should equally try as much as possible to catch some rest. And yeah, not just that, people are equally saying that there is possibility that they took his life, they went spiritually to take, you know, his life because of the fact that his boss defected to APC and he refused to defect to APC. He remained, you know, in PDP. But I mean, it's still, you know, public's rumor, it's still speculation. We don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, we saw that he slumped.
Yes, that point about not taking enough rest is more than enough to send anybody to the grave. We don't have a culture of rest here. Nigerians are always known to hustle, working 24/7, bustling. We think that's a way of life, which is really beautiful. But then when the body does not rest, it would force you to, whether you are resting in your bed or you are resting in the grave. So,
but Sharon, if the system provides better for you, why would you not live a baby girl life?
That's what I'm saying. It has not become part of our life, right? It has become inside us, entered our blood, that we are always hustling because we are not in a situation or a country where we have the option of rest. But whether or not we do it, we have to enforce that rest on ourselves so that we can have the life to even continue to work more. But this is where we're calling it a wrap on the conversation. This is Active Citizens, and you just watched the show Morning Pulse. My name is Sharon Chuku, and I did this with Ifoma OG. Now, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please endeavor to do so right away and follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me as well across all media at Sharon Chuku. And you
can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Misolex.
Okay, till we see you later today, do have a good morning.